Good evening. This is your host, Modesty, and welcome to Celebrity Spotlight Live, where we take you beyond the lights, the camera, and the action of artists, authors, celebrities, actors, movie critics, entrepreneurs, and other noteworthy professionals. Tonight is part 2 of Boss Lady Tuesday, and we're so delighted to have two fabulous guests tonight in the persons of Latrea Kimberly Morrow, who is an editor-in-chief of My Reporter, IAD, and also Terrie Rimson, who is a recording artist, a television personality, and an actress. How are you doing this evening, ladies?
We're doing great.
Well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm doing great. Yes.
Thank you so very much for accepting the invitation. And
Thank
we're going
you.
to get started. Oh, you're more than welcome. You are more than welcome. We're going to get started. This is part 2 of Boss Lady Tuesday. We're going to start with you, Latrea. Did I say it correctly, Latrea?
Yes, you did.
Okay, my dear. Tell us, as a boss lady, when did your journey as the editor-in-chief of My Reporter begin?
Wow. It started way before My Reporter. I actually have been professionally writing since 2010. But I've always have written off and on, previously, but however, like I said, not professionally. And I just made the plunge. I was like, okay, you know what? I think I need to go ahead because there's too many people who say, like, oh, I like your writing, I like your style, and I've always, read various publications and different articles, and I would say, I probably would not have interviewed that person in such that way, or I would not have, ordered it that way. So I was like, you know what? Let me put my own little 2 cents in the bid, And so that's where I started writing with Examiner.com, which I still write for them, and their sister paper Axis.com, and I just decided to branch out into more territory, and that's where my website came in, because I wanted to be more versatile and not necessarily pigeonholed into one genre of writing.
I totally understand. We're going to talk.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm not sure if we lost her or not.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, we might have lost her call. Okay. So, I don't know. I guess she'll call back in a moment. I'll call back in. Well, I guess I'll continue on speaking until she comes back in. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is.
Modesty. Ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
I apologize. Something happened with the phone. I apologize for that. So I'm on my other phone. I have 3 different phones. So I'm on the other phone. Nothing will happen with this one. Thank you so much, dear. Okay, Terrie Rimson, now on to you, my dear. When did your journey start, dear, and at what age did you discover that you could sing? Because, sis, I have heard your material. I've seen videos of you on YouTube, and I tell you, it has taken everything within me not to just lay out on the floor. I don't need an usher.
Oh, wow.
Just to lay out
so
because
good.
I was so blessed from your music. So when did your journey begin, and when did you discover that you could sing?
Wow. Do I have to add in the times that I was threatened and I got spanked because I had to sing and I cried?
That counts.
Man, I think my mother called me to sing. How about that? My mother trained. She really worked with me to sing, I guess, at age 5. And as I got older, I grew up very shy. My mother is a national evangelist, and so every time she would go out, she wanted her children, to sing. And so as I got older, I was shy, and she would tell me, you better sing. And I would be crying because I didn't want to sing. But actually, when I accepted that I really had a calling and a gift on my life, and I knew this is what I had to do, not because I wanted to do it, but because it was a calling, is when my husband started pastoring. So I was like age maybe 23, 24, and I realized this is not a job, so you can't just quit it. This is a calling on your life, and you have to do it. And that's when I realized that I had to do this. I had to do this.
Well, I'm so glad that you said yes and not maybe or no. And I
wanted to say no, too.
Okay. And Latrea, I'm so glad that you didn't say, well, not yet, or it's not time. And it's so interesting about writing, because what people are actually doing is when you write a piece or you write about a piece, is they're actually reading your mind. And you cover a large, many territories. You talk about sports. You talk about inspiration on your site. You talk about entertainment, music. Now, explain to us this purple carpet. You know what the red carpet is all about, right, Terrie?
Yeah.
I've heard of the red carpet. I've even heard of the black carpet. Now, tell us something about the purple carpet, Latrea.
Well, the purple carpet. Well, one purple, and not just purple in general, but there's a specific purple that I love, and it's like an eggplant purple. So it's really dark, it's deep, and what I get from that, and even just the color purple in general, is that it's the color of royalty. You get a little mysteriousness, in there, and I just wanted to have something that represented what I felt was worthy of admiration.
I totally
and so
understand.
That was what I wanted the purple carpet to represent.
Well, I do hope that the entertainment industry at some point, if they don't introduce it, that you will introduce it at one of your fairs, if you have an event or a fundraiser for my report, if that's something that's on your plate. You introduce the purple carpet, because that is so very creative. I really like the concept of that.
Yes.
I really do. Now, Terrie, you have sang. Tell us some of the people that you have sang with. I'll let you tell it. I've read about it.
Okay.
It's quite
Okay. Let me see. Definitely the Clark sisters. The Clark sisters, they're not my biological family, but you know how back in the day when you were growing up, these are people that you have took in as family members, because Maddie Moss Clark was my mother's godmother. So it made it be where the Clark sisters were like my aunts. So, I really, look up to them. I'm very close to them. And so I backed them up. I've backed up the late Daryl Coley, who I call Uncle Daryl.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I've done a lot. Tremaine Hawkins, I call her Aunt Tremaine. And these people I'm not related to them, but growing up, because my mother was so close to them, this is what happened, and then you begin to build relationships with them, and then you mentor them. And so, I've sung behind these people, and it's really been a blessing. I've learned a lot. I've got to see, how it operates as far as music ministry as well as church ministry.
Right.
Because, it's two different worlds, but I've learned both, and, God has really been good to me. I've been through a lot to get to the point that I'm at now spiritually. I had to go through certain things in order for God to impact my life so that I can be a witness to others. I definitely know there's a calling on my life, and I'm thank God that I said yes to His will, because, when you don't say yes, God has a way of getting your attention. But I've backed up. Yes, He does. So I've backed up several different artists out there, and I just really give God praise for such an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, it is a wonderful opportunity because the people that you've mentioned, they're considered as a gospel. Speaking of the purple carpet, Latrea, Daryl Coles, who just passed away recently, and the Clark sisters are considered as gospel royalty. And they have been doing what they do for many, 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 many years. Terrie, let me ask you this, dear. Which male and female gospel singer or artist would you like to collaborate with if given the opportunity to go in the studio and just let go and let God?
Oh, God, if this gets to her, she's probably going to laugh. I won't say the Clark sisters because that would be easy. I would say Leandria Johnson.
Okay, Leandria Johnson, that's the female. And what male would you like to collaborate with?
Now, let me see. I've got to think here. Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of people that I just know I can't get my hands on. And it'll have to be a divine connection. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be.
Okay. We could come back to that question if you could.
Yeah, I can't figure it out
right now.
Wait, Smokey Norfolk.
Great, wonderful. Okay, that's great. That's great, and that's good to hear. Excellent. Latrea, let me ask you this question. Has there ever been a time when you heard or read something that hit a nerve so hard that you wanted to go on your internet magazine and just go post it on them?
You know what? I see a lot of stuff.
I just want to know because writers, I just want to know, has there ever been a time?
Oh, it's been plenty of times. I have to catch myself because, I don't want to take my platform for granted and spew out, because I try to be even keel as far as in what I write and how I write because I don't want to sway people. I want you to learn. I give you the facts.
Right.
And I want you to decide for yourself. So I don't want you to read what I'm writing and say, oh, well, she must be this and oh, she must be that. No, I want you to decide for yourself, but I'm going to give you all the information I believe you need to make your decision. And so I don't, but when I do hear things, and I have, sometimes I just take to Twitter. I don't even want to write an article. I'll just get on Twitter and I was like, okay, did you all see this article? Or do you hear what this person is saying? And I just go for it. I mean, one night, Montel Williams was on. I think this was back during the Ferguson riots, and people were trying to understand. We're standing up for our rights, and we want to, ride and do all this, and we're just like, wait a minute. Why are you rioting, tearing up your own stuff? Right. Being another black person, I don't feel like I'm going to tear up my stuff. I'm going to need you to go tear up somebody else's stuff because it's mine.
Exactly.
And so, right, and so I'm just like, wait, y'all got the wrong understanding. And then somebody brings up about Martin Luther King saying rioting is the speech of the I don't forget what the quote exactly is, but I mean, the unheard, that's what it is, the speech of the unheard or something to that nature. But I'm just like, yeah, but I don't think he necessarily meant it in that way when you tear up your own stuff, because when you hungry or you need to go get your money at the bank or if you need to take the bus somewhere, here you go, you don't have a way to go nowhere, or do whatever you need to do. But we have to be informed, but don't always jump on an emotional roller coaster and ride that. We have to be level-headed and analyze what is going on. Yeah.
And that's a very good point. And what I realized is this. When you're in a room setting, if there's a microphone or if there's a podium and someone is getting ready to speak, whether it's in church or it's at a special event or it's at a seminar or conference, the person with the mic is the most important person in that room. And what they say is going to be heard and adhered to. The person with the mic is the person who is the most influential individual in a room. And from that, let me segue into this, Terrie. What would you say, my dear, is the most rewarding thing about what it is that you do?
Oh, wow, blessing other people's lives.
Yes.
That is so rewarding. And sometimes people will say, and it's usually, church people, they'll say, well, you're a little bit too deep. I don't really mean to come off deep, but that I cherish my gift. And a lot of them that have the gift that I have, they don't cherish it. And then when you follow them home, they're not living that same lifestyle that they're singing. Now, I'm not saying be perfect, because we all are either have been delivered from something or we're struggling with something and we haven't been delivered from it yet. But I'm saying those that are really striving to do what's right, I just love when people tell me how, just like when you said it, when you first came on, how you were blessed by it. That makes me feel good, and that's encouraging, because, the things that I go through throughout the day and throughout the week, we need to hear that we're blessing somebody else's life. I just want to be a light. I don't want to be a stumbling block. I just want to be a light where I can bless somebody else's life and share with them what God has loaned to me, because I don't own it. He loaned it to me. And, I just want to be able to bless lives. That's all I want to do.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear, Terrie. And Latrea, what is the most rewarding thing would you say about what it is that you do?
It's basically the same thing, touching people's lives, or being able to take what someone else may even think or feel within their heart and bring it and put it out so people can read it, can see it. And sometimes people don't realize, some people may not feel or know how to articulate it in such a way. And I'm not a big speaker in a sense where I don't have, but you put me with my computer and give me something to write on, I can pretty much, handle that. I'm a behind the scenes person. But just being able to tell people stories in a way that brings the truth of who they are, so you can know them as a person, like it's someone tangible standing right next to you or sitting right in front of you.
Right. Okay, with that in mind, Latrea, have you ever written a book?
No, I have not.
Okay. Is that something on your bucket list, or is that something on your agenda?
It is something on my bucket list. I've been kind of tossed and turned about it because, it's always like, well, how much am I going to reveal? How much am I not going to reveal? How much, and so I go through that because, a lot of people may say, well, she's over here doing everything and she shouldn't have a problem with, being out front. But I've always had an issue with being out front. But it just seemed as if God just would take me out of myself and put me up front, like, no, this is what I want you to do. And it's like, okay, God, see, if it was not for you, I would not be doing this, and God just ultimately lined me up with the right people to be able to come in contact with, and God just, He just ordered my steps in this path, and so, yeah.
Okay, great. That's good. And I guess you can consider that as a prophetic word, because I was going, as a writer, my reporter, you consider it as, I consider it as a magazine. Okay.
Yeah.
You consider, okay, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So just consider that as.
Can I say this right quick, Monica?
Sure, go ahead. Sure.
I started it out, as a blog, and then, in a sense, as a blog. But then as I started thinking about where I wanted it to eventually go, I said, no, I need to actually model it as a magazine of sorts, even though it's not typically in magazine form right now,
Okay.
but I wanted to start modeling it in that nature. So when
Excellent.
it does become a full-fledged magazine,
Yes.
it will just already, just flow right up into
the name
it.
will be there already. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll know what it is. That's excellent. And you continue to pray, and God will lead you, and God will guide you. In reference to that, I have something to say too about writing, but it's not about me tonight. It's about you, Terrie, and it's about you, Latrea, tonight. So let me ask you this, Terrie. You did say you've gone through a lot. Have you come up against any challenges in ministry? And the reason I say that is because sometimes, and I don't know if you've experienced this, Latrea, but sometimes the more talented and gifted a person becomes, sometimes the more they are a target.
Yeah, that's
like you know what? You ain't said nothing right there.
Man, I'm representative. I'm going to that. Oh my God! I could tell you so much. So what are you asking me? Because that's a big question right there. What are you asking me? What are you asking me?
Maybe I should have put an S on that challenge. Just give me something that you've experienced, challenges that you have encountered that maybe you never expected, or let's say some surprising challenges that you've encountered on this journey as a television personality, as a gospel artist or an actress.
Man, we could just go just as being in ministry. I don't even know where to start. Because I just asked God the other day, I said, will this ever end? And I realized that God keeps thorns in your flesh to keep you humble. Yes. And I had to tell him, I said, thank you, Lord, thank you. Because, I don't want to forget where I came from. I don't want to forget how good he's been. But, man, we go through things collectively. When I got married and my husband said yes to the Lord to pastor, that seems like that's when all hell broke loose.
Wow.
Is when we said is when we said yes. And it was some things that happened to us that I never expected because I'm like, Lord, we don't deserve this. And God said, why not? I chose you. And if I wouldn't have chose you, then he said, I'm preparing you for this. And, everybody can't go through what we went through. Really, honestly, I should have lost my mind. My husband should have lost his mind because Church hurt is a different kind of hurt.
That's what a lot of people say.
Man, church hurt will make people leave the church. But because of the God in me and because of my faith, I stood strong and I hung in there. Man, we were ostracized by church people. We were talked about. We were criticized. We were lied on. We were blogged about. And, sometimes you go through seasons in your life where you can't even explain yourself because when you go to try to explain yourself, it makes the situation even worse. And, and believers, they rather hear a lie before they hear the truth. And so there was a time in a season where I had to not say nothing because God said, hold your peace, and I'm going to fight your battle. And now is the season now where we're able now to talk about it, to explain it. And because if we would have tried to explain it when we were going through it, people wouldn't have believed it. But now that God has brought us through it and we're stronger and we're wiser now, we're starting to give our testimony. We lost houses. We lost cars. And again, I say we were blogged. You can pull us up right now. Who's ever listening to this program now, they can pull up our name. They lied on us and blogged on us, and we couldn't say nothing. Because God said, hold your peace. And so my husband just started releasing the truth. He actually just started making it, a soundboard now where he's starting to release the truth. And the people of God now are receiving what he's saying because now they understand that in order for God to use you, you got to go through. Exactly. How can I can't be a witness to any other woman if I haven't gone through anything. Exactly. But it didn't feel good. It did not feel good. God had put me in a very uncomfortable position. It was embarrassing moments, and I had to just hold my peace and keep praying, saying, God, you got to help me through this. Because when you're being fought by church people that you thought had your back and they supported you and they understood this process, those are the ones that will kill you. But I thank God that we're still standing. So
and I am too, yes. Wow, I asked for it, right? That's right, and thank you for
that was a short version. That was a short version.
And that's the abridged version.
Yes,
Maybe you should write a book at some point, too.
You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. When God says to do it, I'm going to do it.
You do that, because it will free someone. It's amazing how much many of us go through, and sometimes we go through the same thing. And we come out. You've come out, and you're still a boss lady. Okay, you've come out of what you've gone through. And Latrea,
Modesty, I can't take y'all right now.
Why?
I can't take y'all right now because I'm sitting here, and I mean, if Terrie did not express. Not in detail, but in generality, where I am and what I have gone through.
Oh my!
I'm just like, I almost started crying because I was just like, oh God, I cannot. I'm on this on this call.
That's okay. It's totally all right.
I said, Jesus, I've been through a lot, and most people would not know this because I do not make it public, but I have I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia since 1999. So I've lived my life, half of my life, because I'm 40 now, I'll be 41 this year, in pain, 24/7. And even though I take medication and try to pace myself and watch myself, the pain is there. And I had a car accident to make things worse. I was in a car accident in 2005, and I have 3 herniated discs in my lower back. I don't even, if it was not for God, I should not be walking right now.
My Lord.
I should not even be walking. And a lot of things that I've been through as a young person, in my 20s, I felt like, God, why are you doing this to me? I'm just like, I'm getting here, and this is the time where all the young people should be, traveling the world and just doing stuff and not having to be worried about sickness or feeling bad. And a lot of things I went through, people did not understand because I don't look like I'm sick.
You don't look like what you're going through. Right.
Right, I don't. And I refuse to carry myself in such a manner where I'm all down and out, I can't make it. And no, I refuse to do that because that's not me, first of all. And then second of all, I don't even believe God will be pleased for me to do that. And if I just happen to have one of those days, then guess what? I stay home because that is not being any good to you or anybody else. So I have to get myself together, in order to be able to help someone else. And so I learned, because I always ask guys like, God, why do I have the stuff that people can't explain? What is this? They don't know where it came from. They don't know where it came from, why I have it, and all this other stuff. I said, well, God, what is this? And I still ain't really got no straight answer about it, but I believe God, just like Terrie was saying, God knows what you as a person can go through, and he gives it to you because he knows later on that there are going to be some people that's going to come in your path that's going to need to know about what you've been through and how you've overcome it. So if you don't go through it, then you don't have a testimony. Like I said, without a test, you don't have a testimony. And so, like I said, and a lot of times, and I say this, because I lost my voice not my physical voice, even though I've done that before too. But I mean, lost my voice as far as who I am, and got pushed in a corner because I allowed what people thought and felt of me to override what I thought and felt of myself. And then also because I have a chronic illness, you know, people have the stigma about, oh, you don't tell people, because, you know, if you tell people, then they're going to look at you funny. They're going to, you know, they're going to treat you funny. And I got to a point where it was just like, you know what, if people find out, or when they know, or whatever, if they decide to treat me funny or act any other way, it's like, you know what, I guess you're not meant to be in my life, because I can't handle those type of people in my life. You know, I got to have people who are uplifting, those people who are about their business, those people who are going to make things happen and not causing drama. You know, I don't do drama. No, don't do it. You know. Exactly. And if anybody who really knows me, I'm a very straightforward person. And some people don't particularly care for that, but hey, that's how I am. And I learned earlier on that I cannot be stressed. So if you are a part of my stress, then I have to eliminate you. You know?
That's why I've gotten, yes.
And so a lot of things, even in being, having a chronic illness as young as I was, and being diagnosed in 99, and I've learned, and my maturity level was way past those who were in my age group and my mindset. And so that just caused me to look for things, or be about things that were more above or beyond my years. You know, I'm just like, okay, am I the first to do this or what? You know, I'm not trying to create the wheel, but it just seemed as if at the time I was the, you know, first one to do this, the first one to do that. And it's just like, okay, Lord, why am I in this position? But I do know that it is for someone else's benefit. It's not just because, oh, Latrea, you're going through, you need to learn something, but it's, oh, Latrea, you need to go through so you can help somebody.
And you are victorious, and not only are you the boss, a boss lady, but you are the boss of your emotions. You are the boss of your atmosphere. You are the boss of your peace. You are the boss of your joy. You're the boss of your life. You are the voice of your victory. And with that in mind, ladies, I want to say that I am so grateful and thankful that you have accepted the invitation. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So grateful that you accepted our invitation tonight. And before we close out, I want you to tell us what your handle is, Terrie, and how someone can order your CD. And then after she finishes, Latrea, I want you to also tell those of us who are listening your website and where they can find your internet magazine. And also your handle for Twitter.
Okay. This is Terrie Rimson, and they can find me on Facebook, of course. I'm on Facebook several times. I'm on Twitter under Sing Terrie Sing. I'm on Facebook under Terrie Rimson. I'm on Instagram under Sing Terrie Sing. They can also download both of my songs on iTunes or any digital download. That would be Zion, and it would be I Was Created. And, so they can find me there, yes.
Excellent. Okay, go ahead, Latrea.
Yes, I am Latrea Kimberly on just about everything except for Facebook. Well, even on Facebook. I have my Facebook page. I'm on Latrea Kimberly, my personal Facebook page, Latrea Kimberly Morrow. My other handles for my reporter is my reporter IAD. And IAD is Inside Access on Demand. And then my website is myreporter.com. And then I'm actually resurrecting my radio show soon, Musically Yours. So that will be out. Yeah, I'll be back on the radio real soon.
Excellent. And maybe at that time you can connect with Terrie.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And that would be very, very awesome. And before we close out, Father, I thank and I praise you for these two fabulous, these two wonderful, these two victorious, these two great, successful, and faithful boss ladies. Thank you for bringing them from a mighty long way. It is my prayer that what's ahead of them will be greater than what has been behind them. It is my prayer that everything they touch and everyone they speak to will leave them not the same but different. Everyone they touch and speak to will be encouraged, will be inspired, will be invigorated, and their faith in you will be strengthened and increased. I praise and I thank you in advance for a brand new body for Latrea, brand new inside. You are still a miracle-working God. You are still answering prayer. You are still making house calls. You still do not have a day or night shift, but you are God 24/7, every day of the week. Father, I thank and I praise you for blessing the ministry of Terrie Rimson and her husband. Give her and that ministry and her husband Marys, individuals who will help carry, who will help bring forth and birth what it is you want to manifest. Bless them financially. Continue to put a word in her mouth and her husband's mouth for those who are thirsty, those who are hungry, those who are starving, those who are hurting, those who come to their ministry like the man who was beaten up on the side of the road and was filled with wounds. Help their ministry, Lord, to be a house of faith, a house of prayer, and a house of healing and deliverance for those who have gone through the exact same thing that they've gone through and have come out on the other side of trouble, come out on the other side of all the hell, come out on the other side of drama. They've come out and they've come out victorious. Bless these two boss ladies and my sisters. May they want for nothing. May their needs always be supplied. May they never have to beg, borrow, and I know they'll never have to steal because you are God, and you are the supplier of our needs. Bless the both of them. In Jesus' name, I pray. Thank you, babies. Thank you, Latrea.
Amen.
Thank you, Terrie. And ladies, if you remember, you are so welcome. If you remember nothing else, it's good to be important, but it's more important to be good.
All right, now.
All right, ladies.
Thank you.
I will see you. Are welcome, darling. I will see you in Twitterland, and I'm going to go on Twitter, and I'm going to tweet out your handle and tell people to follow you, etc. And we'll talk again, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Okay, boss ladies. Love you and be praying for you.
Love you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.